asset losses must be kept to an absolute minimum, and that means getting familiar with loss prevention. Losses in your store can occur in a number of ways. Through the mishandling of merchandise, through poor housekeeping, through paperwork errors, through shoplifting, through vendor theft or internal theft, even through unclean or unsafe conditions inside and outside your store. All of these occurrences contribute to what is known as shrink. That is the value of merchandise that is lost during the process of moving that merchandise from the back door through the front. This tape is going to highlight a number of fundamental loss prevention practices that are very important to all of us. The importance of reducing our store's shrink cannot be overstated. Shrink adds to the cost of doing business, which can result in increased prices for our customers. It's a problem that can also steal our store's profits as well as our jobs. Your efforts with regard to loss prevention fit right in with our team concept. And that's because everyone, on their first day on the job, can make a valuable contribution to fight shrink. So welcome aboard our loss prevention team. And just remember to think to prevent shrink. Before we go any further, let's take a look to see exactly what shrink is and exactly how it can impact the success of your store. Shrink is defined as the difference in the value of merchandise received through the back door as compared to the value actually obtained from that merchandise when it leaves through the front door. To explain this a bit more clearly, let's take a look at how shrink happens. Here are some typical examples. A case of grape jam falls during transport, and 3 jars break. Since each jar sells for $1.59, your store's loss is $4.77. A vendor's delivery of potato chips is 3 cases short. The store's receiver didn't check the delivery and missed the shortage. Each case sells for $19.08. The loss from this incident is $57.24. A grocery clerk carelessly cuts a case of cereal. 2 boxes of Rice Krispies are cut and cannot be sold. Since each box sells for $2.09, the loss here is $4.18. The produce clerk stocks a case of peppers on top of the existing display without rotating the product. 8 pounds of peppers at 99 cents a pound become spoiled. The loss here in produce, $7.92. A deli clerk mistakenly discards an end cut of bologna. 2 pounds at $3.20 a pound means a loss of $6.40. A cashier forgets to check the bottom of the carriage and fails to ring a 25-pound bag of dog food. The loss here is $9.99. A clerk sees a shoplifter conceal 2 steaks and fails to report the incident to management. The loss here, $18. An employee takes a few items almost every day after having his lunch. This has gone unnoticed for a week until the employee is caught by his manager. The total of the items unpaid for and lost, $7.50. In just these few examples, the merchandise lost added up to a total loss of $120. Now you'll remember from our orientation segment that the profit on the merchandise we sell is less than a penny on the dollar. Keeping your store neat will help to keep it safe. When using a case cutter, be sure to open all cases carefully. Besides preventing injury to yourself, handling this tool correctly will help to prevent damage to the merchandise inside. To prevent potential loss or misuse by customers, don't leave price guns, vendor price stickers, paid stickers, or any other material used to label or price merchandise unattended. Pricing is something that we want to be able to control. Another tip is to avoid placing price stickers on removable lids or plastic covers. This will help to prevent customers from placing lower price lids on more expensive items. If you see any stray items, especially perishables, that a customer may have left in the aisle, return it to the appropriate department immediately, especially items that require refrigeration. Here 2. Simply being alert to situations that could cause product to be damaged will help in reducing shrink. Make sure product is stacked neatly on the shelf to avoid falling and being damaged. And keep an eye out for any leaking packages that could also damage surrounding merchandise. In general, try to keep the dairy case clean and odor-free. Check to see that all cooler doors remain closed so that perishable products will stay fresh. Product that requires refrigeration or that must be kept frozen should not be allowed to warm or thaw while stocking. All dairy and frozen products should be rotated. That means that items with the earliest expiration date should be placed at the front of the case to ensure they are sold first. Also, be alert to return any misplaced refrigerated items to their proper spot in the display case. Opportunity to prevent shrink back here. First of all, when you're working the back room, good housekeeping is essential. Keeping this area neat and orderly will ensure that merchandise does not get mixed up or damaged and will provide for a safer place in which to work. Keeping the receiving area orderly will also reduce the opportunity for loss as vendors deliver shipments. Control all salespeople and vendors in the backroom areas. Limit their access to your store's designated vendor staging area, the marked area of the receiving floor. Remember, it's your area. Protect it. Make sure all receiving doors are locked and alarmed when unattended. If you should see any strangers in the back room area, ask them for identification and notify your manager immediately. Carefully count all incoming shipments and make sure you receive what you signed for. Each carton should be opened and checked for proper contents and checked off item by item. And never accept personal gifts or samples from a vendor. You don't want to give the appearance to your manager or your team members that you are engaging in any improper practice. Handle all merchandise carefully. Just because it's in a large shipping carton doesn't mean it can't be damaged by improper or careless handling. If merchandise should become damaged, alert your supervisor to the problem immediately. Also, never throw away any product, no matter how damaged it might look, without first checking with your manager. And report to your manager if you should find any saleable or credit merchandise in the trash container. And try to be conscientious when you use supplies. When a supply item is taken from a shelf and not recorded as being used, it is unaccounted for and shows up as shrink. Use only the specific supplies provided. Shrink can take a big bite out of profits in all of these departments. All of the merchandise sold in these departments is perishable, and that means extra care must be taken when handling or displaying these types of foods. Make sure to practice good housekeeping and product handling practices in these areas. Product on the floor can be a safety hazard and can result in even greater losses. Frequently, to keep them fresh and saleable. In the seafood department, products should be kept moist and displayed according to proper procedures. In general, the products sold in these departments require extra care to ensure their freshness and saleability, and to minimize the shrink associated with product loss. In the produce department, shrink can be minimized simply by handling all items carefully. If product looks damaged or bruised, customers will simply put it aside and it will go unsold, creating cost for the store. Also, you'll need to rotate these items as you would with any perishable product. Remember, you wouldn't buy it yourself, you can't expect your customer to want it. This is especially true when it comes to salad items. If your store has one, make sure it's always kept clean, looking appetizing. Good housekeeping in this department will also minimize loss by preventing unnecessary customer or employee accidents. Last, but most certainly not least, is the front end. To make sure this area is running smoothly, your front-end manager will periodically perform a spot check at your register. These checks help to check on your accuracy as well as the accuracy of our systems. If you're working here in the front end, you're going to be handling merchandise and money. Both should be handled properly. First, let's talk about handling and ripping merchandise. Many of our stores have automatic scanning devices at the checkout, losses still do occur. Here are some helpful hints to help reduce shrink at the front end. Make sure to scan or ring all items. Nothing contributes more to shrink than allowing an item to leave the store unpaid for. Keeping this in mind, be sure to check the bottom of the cards for items a customer may have placed there. And be sure to remove all circulars to check for any. Always be sure to ring each item under the correct department and at the correct price. If you're not sure about produce identification, ask your front-end manager. If an item doesn't scan and isn't marked, don't guess at the price. Ask for a price check. When bagging your customer's order, do so with care. Broken or damaged items will most likely be returned by an unhappy customer, causing a loss for your store in more ways than one. Proper bagging is really just an extension of good customer service. Okay, let's talk about handling money. First and foremost, handle all cash, checks, coupons, and other forms of payment carefully and properly. You're going to be responsible for the contents of your cash drawer, so always make it a practice to lock your drawer if you should leave your register area for any reason. Only accept checks that meet your store's requirements. If you're unsure about a check from a customer, simply ask your front-end manager. Always take the time to count your customer's change properly. This will ensure that you'll end your shift with the correct amount of money in your drawer. And remember, it's company policy that you must never check out a friend or relative. Your trainer will go into each of these areas in greater detail. In the meantime, however, your alertness to certain situations and a little bit of common sense can help your store and your team a great deal more than you might imagine. Let's take a look at a couple of other areas that contribute to your store's shrink.
Guy in aisle 6 is changing the price label on a package of meat.
What are you pointing out to?
Remember, if you see or suspect a customer of shoplifting, do not take action yourself. Try to keep the person in view until you can tell your manager what you observed. Your manager will take it from there. The best way you can help prevent shoplifting is to provide exceptionally good customer service. If you see a customer that you have your doubts about, ask if you can be of assistance. The best defense is to let the customer know that you are aware of their presence.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
May I help you with something?
Just looking things.
Okay. Have a nice day.
If you are attentive to the customer, they will probably think twice about trying to steal from your store. And if, like most of our customers, they have honest intentions, well, they'll be just as pleased with your efforts to assist them. Either way, you and your store come out the winner.
Hey, Chris. These are great. What do you think? Grab a bag and we'll have a look later.
Clearly, this type of situation is unacceptable. As we covered earlier, any type of product loss affects your store negatively. Ask your manager to explain the proper procedure for purchasing items to eat or drink while at your store. The key point to remember is, don't become involved in anything that is less than honest. If you're aware of someone, anyone, doing something that is less than honest, do them a favor and tell them to stop. Taking this simple step will let them know that you are uncomfortable and that they are at risk. After all, their reputation and future, and possibly yours, are at stake. We understand that many people don't like to get involved in these types of situations. The trouble is, once you know about it, you are involved. We clearly understand some people's reluctance to confront a co-worker in these matters. Your trainer will explain how you should report any activity that you feel is detrimental to your store and your team. Inspecting the store itself is also an important element in thinking to prevent shrink. In your community, your store is an important asset. That's why we ask that you treat it with respect. Follow company policies, including smoking only in designated areas. Stay alert and keep an eye out for any potential problems. If you should see any situation that you think needs attention, report it to your manager at once. We are committed to providing a clean and safe environment for our customers to shop in and for you to work in. As with any aspect of your job, don't hesitate to ask your manager or other members of the management team to assist you with any loss prevention effort. And remember, no matter where you work or how good you are at what you do, we know that mistakes can and do happen. The biggest mistake you can make, though, is hiding or not correcting it. This is especially true if you price something incorrectly or even damage some merchandise inadvertently. Let your manager know. They will be happy to help you correct the mistake. As you've seen during this presentation, there are many ways you can help to enhance your team's loss prevention efforts in reducing shrink. Take pride in your store and in your own role as a member of our loss prevention team. We need you out there, so always remember to think to prevent shrink.
Before the large supermarket, wolves were coming.
It's a video about satisfying the customer called Doing Whatever It Takes. And you're probably wondering, what does Michael Jordan know about satisfying the customer? Well, let me tell you, when I step onto the basketball court, those 18,000 screaming people aren't just fans. They are my customers. They want to see more than just a basketball game. They expect to see a show. No matter what kind of day I've had, when I put on that uniform, my customers expect behind-the-back passes, long three-pointers, great slings. It's my job to deliver, and I love it. When you put on your McDonald's uniform, your customers want more than just quick service with a smile. They expect to be treated as a guest in your home. And if you hadn't had the greatest of days, it's up to you to put on a show and do whatever it takes to satisfy your customers. The video you're about to see will show you the difference between good service and great personal service we all must provide. It would take you behind the scenes to show you how your video is actually made. So let's see what it means to satisfy your customers. Do whatever it takes.
It's rolling. Everybody set? Slate, please. Dolly, and action.
Thank you, Tony. Hi, how can I help you?
Whoa, cut. Hold on. Excuse me. Well, that's the wrong way. How dare you? You're supposed to say, hello, welcome to McDonald's, and take your order, please. That's the way you always say it.
Oh, Dave, sorry, but that's my fault. Well, I was talking to Jim a little bit earlier, and he said that he was feeling really stiff having to say, welcome to McDonald's over and over again. So I told him what we tell people all the time. Have something that feels natural, but say it with a warm, sincere smile.
Well, you're the real manager here, Barb. You should know. I was not used to letting the actors change the lines.
Believe me, I used to be the same way when it came to letting the crew people think for themselves.
Say, everybody take a quick break, okay?
What do you mean? Oh, Oh, well, you know we have our operations and training manual. Well, it's kind of like a script. It tells us how to do things the right way at McDonald's. Well, I used to insist that all of my team do everything strictly by the book. I mean, everything from the way they greeted the customer to how they took the order and so on. Well, I started to notice that everybody seemed a little stiff. I mean, really inflexible in the way they were serving the customers. And the customers weren't particularly responsive either. So, I decided that I really needed to call a meeting. I needed to talk about this. Right, Lisa? You were part of the team.
Well, yeah, we kicked it around and everybody agreed. We just didn't feel natural constantly repeating the same thing, so we decided to lighten up a little. Like ad-lib a bit. We were serving people, and it worked.
It really did. People's personalities started to show through. I mean, they really started to have fun. And the customers, they really enjoyed being treated like individuals, too.
You know, that really makes sense. It's like, well, I know that actors sometimes need to ad-lib a line or two. It makes their performances more natural. But I just don't want to violate any McDonald's operating procedures.
Oh, well, no, don't worry about that. Our procedures are mostly in the areas of work routines and methods. And those have been developed throughout the years to make us work more efficiently. But when it comes to how we treat our customers, well, we want to impress them with our friendliness, our service. And we can't do that if we come on like robots, right?
Well, sure. Okay, let's try that scene again. And this time, everybody loosen up a little bit. Okay? Places, everyone.
Take two.
Okay, everybody. The entire scene now. Dolly, and action.
Thank you. Come again. Hi, how you doing? May I take your order?
Yes, how about a filet fish, French fries, and a small Coke, please?
Will that be a large fry, sir?
Yes, please.
For here?
Yes, for here.
All right. Your total comes to $3.19.
All right.
I'll be right back with the order. Thank you.
And cut. All right. Looks good to me. How about you, Barbara?
Looking better.
Better.
Well, it still seems a little stiff to me.
Know how to handle him with kid gloves. People like that are almost always looking for him. Like,
That's true.
like they say, turn the other cheek. Now, the next time this guy comes in, he could be one of your nicest customers if you treat him right today.
Makes sense. Got that, Jim? Let's try it again. And action.
Thank you. Come again. Hi, what can I do for you today?
Yeah, I'd like a filet of fish, a small Coke, and a fry, and nothing else, okay?
Is that a large fry?
I said a small fry.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't hear you. Is that for here?
Yeah, it's for here.
All right. Your total comes to $2.78. I'll be right back with the order.
And cut. Great. Well, what did you think?
That was a
You're
lot.
taking this lady's order. And you're going to ask a special favor of Jim, and it's just the way I want it to sound. Like you're almost reluctant to ask. Okay? All right, background people, keep that energy up. Rotate. Hey. Sweat in.
Take one.
And action.
Hello. What would you like today?
I'd like a medium Coke and a Big Mac for here, please.
Would you like a medium fry with that?
No, not really. But I don't suppose it's possible for them to put a slice of tomato on that Big Mac, is it?
Yes, ma'am. It certainly is possible. It'll take just a moment. Is that okay?
Of course.
Great. That comes to $2.53.
I got your Coke.
Thanks. Get your Coke now. You can find a seat. We'll bring your Big Mac out to you.
Thank you.
And cut. Barbara, can I ask you something? Now, I understand the scene, but are you sure you want to show that in the video?
Well, Dave, I hear you. But you know, that's what this whole video is all about. When we say doing whatever it takes, that's what we mean. We want each customer to leave thinking, hey, McDonald's did something special just for me.
That's great.
Really, I don't know how you do it. I mean, you gotta remember all of your lines and remember your actions and still smile.
Hey, from what you told me and from what I've read in the script, we're a lot alike. I mean, we're both performers. We have to remember a lot of things. We face an audience, and we both need to smile. Now, the only difference is my audience is the camera and the director. And if I don't get my lines exactly right, I can do them over and over until the director yells, cut. That's a keeper. But then I feel as if I've done a good performance. But you only get one shot at each of your customers.
Wow. I guess I never thought about it like that, but you're right. I mean, I've got to do all those things right the first time. Oh, and it's a great feeling when customers look pleased and say thank you. I figure if they smile at me and thank me, I've done a great job. And even if you don't, I know I gave it my best.
Exactly.
Okay, places everyone. We're gonna rehearse the holiday scene. Great, thanks.
Okay, Gene, you're the customer. Set your tray down, take a seat, and then just as she sits down, you show up at the grill tray. Okay? Then while you're talking, this gentleman at the next table, right, pulls up his newspaper, gets up, and leaves. Just walk right. All right. Then you go over and fill out the All right. Okay. Everybody else just act natural, eating, talking with each other, having a good time. Okay, let's run through one time for the camera. And action.
Here's your extra toast without cheese.
Well, that was fast.
No problem.
And cut. Okay, move to
You know what's a shame? Look, you don't even get to see the real stars of this scene. The grill team. Well, they're the ones who got that grill order out there so fast.
what does the grill team have to do with service?
Oh, the grill team has everything to do with customer service. You see, if they don't respond quickly in all situations, especially grill orders, then the counter people could never deliver the customer satisfaction we're shooting for. Everyone in the store has to do their part. It's the teamwork that gets the job done.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Okay,
Your total's $4.85.
here you go.
Out of 5. Your change is 15 cents. Enjoy your lunch. Come back and see us rested.
I gotta get out of the car now.
Don't worry about it. I'll have somebody else get her later. Here. Your order's ready at the next window, and have a nice day.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So what were you saying, Lisa?
I wanted to talk to you about that.
Sorry I had to leave at last. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
Oh, no, it was great, really.
You sure?
You know, well, that's what we were always trying to get our kids to do. Think on your feet. I liked it.
It was great.
Thanks. Seemed to be a natural in it.
Okay, everybody, this is the final scene, and let's make it good. This is the...
There you go.
Well, now, Jennifer, you come back and see us real soon. And, I don't know your name. Peter. You too, Peter. Enjoy your lunch. Thanks so much.
I'll tell you that later, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ready?
What did you think? Was that last scene the perfect service scene? It was very good service. But remember, throughout the video, there was always a way to improve the script, to ad-lib something that would turn the expected McDonald's service into complete customer satisfaction. And I know you can do an even better job than the actors because you know the system. You've got the power to make things better. If we rated what you just saw as A service, we're shooting for A+ service. The smiles, the friendly, treat them as guest gestures. Let our guests know we're not just 6 steps and a smile. Our goal is to make our guests think, hey, these McDonald's people really care about me. And you know what? We really do. But we have to do it every time, even if it takes a little bit more time. When you notice a guest not getting that great McDonald's service, whether it's a quality problem, an error with their order, or they just need a ketchup packet, help them quickly. In doing so, in earning those smiles and thank yous in repeat business, we can make our jobs more fun. Now let's take another look at that last scene. Even though it may have been good service, there are always ways to improve on customer satisfaction.
For here.
I got it.
Your total will be $668. Give them the money. 668 out of 7. I'll get it. Yeah. Oh, I think Jennifer is hungry too.
I'll give the house for the milk.
Thanks.
Ma'am, would you like a high chair or a booster seat with that?
A booster seat would be great. Thank you very much.
Well, now, Jennifer, you come back and see us real soon. I don't know your name. Peter. You too, Peter. Enjoy your lunch. Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
As with most of our training programs, the shift management program relies on the coach to help the new shift manager get through the program. In the Management Development Program for Shift Managers, also known as MDP1, there is a coach guide. This guide helps you monitor and support the shift manager trainee through the training program by providing suggested training and meeting schedules for each topic, answers to the exercises and nuts and bolts assessments, directions for shoulder-to-shoulder activities. It's a great resource, and you'll need to be familiar with it before you start coaching. The coach guide will give you details, but today, I'm going to get you started by giving you an overview of the program and some ideas for how you can better coach trainees through it. Think of me as your talking coach guide. Let's get started by taking a look at each part of the program. The first step of the shift management program is completion of the station and trainer verifications. Use these to make sure the trainee has a basic understanding of operations and the skills needed to train other crew before they begin learning how to run a shift. The components for this part of the training are training and SOCs for the crew development program, maintenance verification, and crew trainer verification. As the coach, you will check to make sure all of these are complete. Next, the shift manager trainee begins transition to management at McDonald's. The goal of this training is to introduce the trainee to McDonald's and the responsibilities of being a shift. The trainee learns about managing the entire process: pre-shift, managing the shift, and post-shift. They also learn about food safety and safety and security procedures. This section includes a video, exercises, shoulder-to-shoulder activities, and the nuts and bolts assessment. As the coach, you will work with the trainee 2 to 3 shifts per week to prepare for verification.
Hey, looks pretty good now, doesn't it?
Yeah, great idea. Barbecue sauce.
And we got the sauces that'll take you on a trip from the Wild West to the Far East. Becano?
Thank you, McNuggets and sweet and sour sauce. Now here to please McDonald's. Ham Sherry ham again.
It's called hot.
Hey, fantastic.
I'm surprised at you. Oh, well, after all, McNuggets, that's the way I got my start. Way to go, Big Mac.
Rick,